Are you interested in buying a taxi medallion or looking for TLC insurance? Reach out to Westway at 212-977-4590.
Black Car News editor and publisher Neil Weiss focuses his editorial on the surprise suspension of Manhattan's Central Business District tolling program by New York State Governor Kathy Hochul. NYC congestion pricing, a project that had been in the works for years, was set to officially launch on June 30th. Neil writes, "The road to implementing congestion pricing in New York City has had more twists and turns than the Monaco Grand Prix. But none nearly as abrupt and baffling as Governor Kathy Hochul's indefinite pause on the toll mere weeks before it was set for launch." Neil also writes, "My biggest concern had been how it would affect the city's TLC-regulated drivers and businesses. Could it pose an existential threat to the industry? But then I read the final congestion pricing fee structure, and it turned my head around. Hiring a car into the city, with a small congestion fee tacked onto the ride, could start sounding like a pretty good deal to a lot more people when you factor in the extra $15 they would have to spend to enter the city, on top of the exorbitant fees for parking in an NYC garage, or the general hassle of trying to find a decent spot on the street." Neil concludes his article by quoting Charles Komanoff, a national expert on congestion pricing and traffic modeling. "Fewer traffic jams in the congestion zone will bring not just faster taxi and Uber trips, but also fare reductions, offsetting some of the hit from the new surcharges on FHV trips in the zone. My modeling projects a net 9% rise in yellow cab trips, and 2% for Ubers and Lyfts." In his monthly column, Ira Goldstein, executive director of the Black Car Fund, shares his industry insights and thoughts on several topics, including the surprise suspension of MTA's congestion tolling program. Ira notably writes, "Right now, we truly are in limbo with congestion pricing, and limbo is an uncomfortable place to be. At the end of the day, the MTA needs this money, and Governor Hochul has been scrambling to figure out how to make up the funding shortfall. The MTA has already announced that it is pausing a number of projects and planned upgrades in light of the pause, and the longer the pause lasts, the more urgent finding a solution will become. We will continue closely monitoring this situation." Ira also discusses JFK changing pickup procedures at Terminal 4. Most for-hire vehicles, with the exception of Uber and Lyft's premium service, like Uber Black, will be picking up passengers at a remote lot. Passengers arriving at Terminal 4 will need to board a shuttle bus that will bring them to the remote lot. What I'm unhappy about, however, is that privately owned vehicles and yellow taxis will still have curb access at Terminal 4, while FHVs are being relocated. Ira concludes his column by mentioning the Black Car Fund is proud to be one of the sponsors of the Independent Drivers Guild's annual Driver Appreciation Day. The event will take place at the same location as the last 2 years, Flushing Meadows Corona Park, and will run from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. IDG has put together an RSVP form as well. We hope to see you all there. In Commissioner's Corner, NYC Taxi and Limousine Commission Chair David Daus shares valuable insights into the industry. In this month's column, Chair Daus focuses on driver lockouts, or when NYC TLC licensed drivers cannot access the Uber and Lyft apps, when and where they want. Chair Daus writes, "TLC's minimum pay rule uses a formula that incorporates a per-mile rate, per-minute rate, and crucially, a utilization rate to establish the equivalent of an hourly rate for TLC high-volume drivers. Among other benefits, the utilization rate guarantees that drivers get paid for time without passengers. I want you to know that this is highly concerning to me, and that we are looking at actions we can take within the realm of our authority to reduce or eliminate access restrictions. We are working with stakeholders, advocates, and experts to identify policy adjustments that can improve conditions for our licensees."